We're live again. Change of tops. What have I got on today? Oh, yeah, it's an elephant. You have to get right back. Don't lean on your chair, Bajerski. Sorry, sir. Do you think it affected me a little bit, school? I'm all right if I keep taking my medication. You'll break them legs. Yeah, but sir, the metal. Shut up and do as you're told. Exactly. That's more like it. At least you're honest. Welcome, everybody. So what we're doing today, this is like the second part of Pure Energy Healing Ask a Question. So guess what? I've just looked at my emails. Mark, some people can't make it tonight and they're very sorry. They're busy doing things, and I've received like 6 messages. That was lovely. All asking questions because they'll watch it on replay. If you're not on replay and you're here live, beautiful 37 people out of 190. Gosh, how many thousand are we on now on YouTube? 190 something. It's going down 100 a day, so we've just lost another 1,000 in 2 weeks. So that's nice. Anyway, you're probably already subscribed, and if you're not, it doesn't matter. I hope you're all doing wonderful. So where are we? Do you know what? I think I'll just get straight into it because it's now 18:01. So let me just read some of these flipping wonderful questions asked. I guess first of all, if you're new to this, then my name is Mark Bajerski, and at 38 years old, I became a pure energy healer. And from then on, for the past 2 decades, I'm 57 now. I do pure energy healing work with my crystals now, but prior to that, for about 15 years, 12 to 15 years solid, healing beautiful souls, children, babies, animals, mums, dads, grandmas of any kind of issues, problem, and disease. And what I'm sharing with you today is my experience of those 2 decades. So I hope you appreciate it because it's all given freely from my heart, and I want to share it with you, whether you're a healer or not. It doesn't matter because we're all healers. So if you're a practitioner, it doesn't really matter. If you are or you aren't, it's all valuable information. So I'm not going to go into like, oh, just relax, close your eyes, nothing like that. This is just a nice Q&A, but I would like to read some of these questions. So question, this is from, this looks like Jean Ann. So Jean, I don't think it's Jean Ann Crowley, but it's Jean Ann. Anyway, we know Jean Ann Crowley, right? Beautiful soul who was on Tenko. She's a dear friend. So yeah, okay, Jean Ann seeking, what is the energy healing really doing to the body, to the soul, not just the body? Wow, great question. Great question. So I said something yesterday with regards to our body as a finely tuned instrument. And this came from Leila Sati. I spoke to her yesterday and she said, why don't you explain in a way where no hand in glove, no two hands joining together, just explain it like a violin or a musical instrument. If your physical body isn't balanced, if it isn't healthy, if it isn't vibrating at a certain frequency, that would be like a violin, but broken. So when you start playing it, it would sound dreadful. Well, that is the same as our body when we're not well, we're not vibrating and at the frequency of love or healing. So we're vibrating at a trauma level or an issue that needs to be resolved, repaired, just like that violin. When healing takes place, that violin is being sanded down, it's being glued, it's being repaired, it's being finely tuned. The strings are the right strength for the sound frequency. And as soon as you start to play it, it plays beautifully. So basically what I'm saying is that an energy healing session heals the soul because the soul can vibrate at the level of the frequency that it needs to. When you came into this world, your soul, your spirit vibrates at high frequency. So does your body. Unfortunately, I can't say it on here. I can't say much on here. Of course, you all know that. But as soon as you come out of the womb, you are instantly attacked by chemicals that are pushed into your body. Your umbilical cord is cut too soon. And you sometimes get slapped, or it's a vibration wreck. So a nightmare. And somehow they like to pull you away from your mum. And I think you should be right by your mum instantly. You shouldn't have a connection to somebody else. No nurse, nothing. You should be straight there. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm no doctor. I know nothing about that. But I do know this, that you don't vibrate as you should do as soon as you're born, because of the hijack of the world and how it has maliciously and absolutely graphically created what's called demonic dark energy to attach to us instantly. So we don't vibrate at that frequency. Energy healing brings you back to that healing. It absolutely does. It repairs, it clears. So what energy healing tends to do is it finds its way to the most challenging area of the body. So there could be a trapped trauma in your stomach. It could be in your back. It could be in your spine. It could be in your kidneys, liver. It could be in your throat, and any of these power points or chakras. Energy healing will clear that away. So it'll bring you to a vibration, a frequency, without interference of that dark energy, that dark trauma, that dark shock block. So energy healing, then you're a finely tuned instrument. Now, when that happens, your spirit can freely blend or come together, melt together, just becomes one. So you are now in the frequency of high vibration, high frequency joint, physical and spiritual, how you should be all the time. So that is my humble opinion when it comes to this question. I'll repeat the question again. What is energy healing really doing to the soul, not just the body? Energy healing heals the body, so the soul becomes its vessel. It's driving force to the vessel that it's in. So that's really how I see it. There's so much more happening in the body, but that to the soul, that's how I see it. You know, you clean your house. It's all lovely and clean. You want to walk in there and you feel happy. If your house is dirty, you don't even want to go home. You don't want to think about trying to clean it. It's going to be smelly. It's going to be horrible. You know, it's going to be dirty. You don't even want to go in there, and you don't feel comfortable when you're there. You're not happy in there. It's the same as the soul with the body. So that's why you don't put poisons in it. You don't smoke. You don't drink too much. You don't take drugs, because your spirit does not like that. It doesn't want that, because it knows then the brain takes over. And that's when you open yourself up to frequencies which are demonic, evil, attachments, trapped spirit. And then your soul is really struggling, because your soul is saying, hey, hang on a minute. This body is mine. Why have you allowed this hijack? And it's very easy to do. And right now, you just look outside. Yesterday, I saw two people fighting on the street. Never ever see this. Two people smashing each other in, a man and a woman beating each other. I don't know what for. And I was stood here just watching. People were watching. And like it happened very quickly and then stopped. And then they walked off on their own way. And it's like there is a lot of attachments now in people be aware. You have to look after your body. You have to clean yourself out, because now it's brutal. They're trying to break in. They're trying to dirty you. They're trying to poison you. They're trying to radiate you. You have to start really looking after yourself. Okay, another question here. How can I know if the energy I'm feeling is mine, someone else's, or something divine? Well, I can start. The last part of that question is easy. Divine energy to me is spirit. So divine is your spirit, or a spirit that comes from the spirit world. Normally when you're with somebody beautiful, kind, caring, who really has no desire to cheat or hustle you, or to look at you and think, I want something from you. When you're with somebody who truly wants to give their heart and soul and their kindness freely, and just want to help, and just actually is a really nice person, you know that feeling. Why? Because you're with a true spirit that comes from your home world, right? You normally know when somebody's pretending and lying, like 99% of people on AI now, on the podcast, that they all say the right words, but you know fully they're really after they don't really care. They don't care. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you. They say they do. Oh, I love you. You're wonderful. But they won't even look at you twice on the street. Do you know, I remember being here, and this always struck me. We'd finished the Pure Energy Healing first day course, and there was 4 of us. There were 4 ladies. There were 3 ladies who cancelled because one of the lady was sick, and she was the one who was driving them from Barcelona. So they should have been 7, but there were 4. Anyway, we finished the first 4 hours, and we went for dinner. So we walked along the street, and we went in between some barriers, and then there's some steps. And all the 4 ladies were behind me, and there was a lady on the steps with bags in her hand, and she was about 80, 90, nearly 100, and I could see she was struggling down the stairs. And I walked quickly past her, and as I walked past her, I span, turned, grabbed the bag. It was one of the trolleys, not bags, a trolley. I grabbed it, lifted it, and it was heavy. And I put it to the bottom and held my hand out for the lady, and she came down, and I gave it to her. She went, "Oh, muchísimas gracias." I said, "No, de nada." And all the other ladies looked at me, right, and smiled. We came back here after having something to eat, and one of the ladies put her hand up, and she said, "I've got a confession, Mark." And I said, "What's that?" She says, "You know when you were going down the stairs past that lady?" I went, "Yeah." She says, "I felt sick." And I said, "What?" She said, "I felt sick." And I said, "Why?" She says, "Because I thought you were just pushing past her to leave her and keep going." And she says, "And I feel so ashamed." And she said, I knew who you were, Mark. And yet I felt so sick that I thought you were about to just ignore her, walk past her, to show me who you're truly like." And I said, "Well, you know, that's fine. That's the brain. The brain does that. It's always negative. And we're all very much a part of that. We all see, like, we all believe that things are bad, you know, and it takes a lot for us to believe it's good. And no greater moment to understand that is now. Who do you believe on the internet these days? If there isn't an agenda, hidden agenda to everybody, the falseness is rife. It's rife. So you have to discern. So the point being is, you know when you're with somebody beautiful who is from your spirit world, kind and caring and loving. And you know when you are in the presence of divine energy. How do I know? Well, I've spent a lot of time here where behind me used to be a healing bed. And people used to lie down on that healing bed coming from all over the world to have a healing session with me. And as I'm healing, there are times, many times, that I guess if I would say out of 100, maybe being realistic, 30 times out of 100. So not every time, but quite a lot. So you begin the healing session, you start healing the client. Your hands are above them. You're working on the energy points. You're trying to feel where you need to be and what needs to fix. And then all of a sudden you'll feel this presence. All I can say is that what I've recognized is when you heal, you start to vibrate at a frequency that is only given from what is called the source or God energy, whatever you like, this energy that pours through you, that then you vibrate at a frequency that spirit can come inside. So spirit cannot come close unless you vibrate at a high frequency, because it cannot come into there unless you're vibrating at the right frequency. If you're both vibrating, that's fine. But if you're just doing this, it can't get in. What I'm saying is, as a healer, when divine energy comes through and you can feel it, it's euphoric. It's so beautiful that words just don't do it justice. It's the best feeling in the world. So your question is, the first one is, how can I know if the energy I'm feeling is mine, if someone else's, or something divine? I've answered the divine. That you just don't get that feeling. You can meditate and you can heal your body, and it may take a while because your body needs a lot of healing from what you've been through and what you're going through right now. The chances are to get to that frequency on your own by meditation, I think the chances are maybe about 20%. Sometimes you might hit it lucky that day and your body's in a good place, and maybe something's just happened that you've gone for a walk, you've put your feet on Mother Nature, you've cleansed, you've saged yourself, you've put oils on yourself. Then you meditate and all of a sudden, boom, you've just got the energy right in the room because you've cleansed it. There's a lot of factors, but the chances of you getting that euphoric energy of your own, it is, like I said, quite challenging. If you've had a healing session or you're having a healing session, you can actually get that euphoric feeling. Your own energy is, oh, this is how I should feel. And it's a beautiful sense of peace. So this is actually an amazing, lovely question, really deep, really beautiful question. I'm going to repeat the question again. It just refreshes me to feel again. How can I know if the energy I'm feeling is mine? This is probably one of the most challenging understandings ever. And I try and point out things that help you recognize it. So energy that you are creating is twofold: energy of your brain or your spirit. Now, normally, if it's your brain, it's very rare that I've ever met somebody with a brain that is really on the side of the body and of the spirit. Normally, the brain is there to hijack everything, to bring fear into you because you've been programmed that way. That was done by design, right from a child. Whether your parents knew it, whether the teachers knew it, it was created that way because this planet is created to make you not believe in yourself. That's the whole point. So then you have to believe in something higher, which is normally religion, or, of course, your wonderful government. So you see, and let's not forget, I can't speak about this on here, so I can't talk about medical, but you know what I mean. So yourself as your soul, when you know it's your soul's energy, you feel it. It's joy. It's complete trust, no matter what. It's a knowing that your brain couldn't even comprehend. Waste of energy even trying to tell your brain. Just trust, because there's a knowing. Your brain just says, what the are you talking about? Wake up. And your consciousness says, don't waste your energy with your brain. So when you are in that energy of your soul, your spirit, you feel it. You just know it. There isn't a question, there isn't a doubt. But when you doubt, when you fear, when you worry, when you panic, when you just don't believe, then the chances are that's your brain. That is your brain's energy. And your brain has an energy, and it's very powerful. So your brain actually tells the body what to do, physically speaking. So if your brain's telling your body what to do, then I guarantee you, your brain is telling your body that you're getting older, you're not well, you're probably going to get cancer, you're probably going to be sick, everything is going to go wrong. I don't trust anybody or anything. So that's the power of your brain. And when you're listening to that all day long, then your body doesn't judge. Your body only hears what the command is and follows it. So if you're saying that you're sick, your body is going to make you sick. It's not going to heal itself. So it is important that you listen to your conscious soul, because your soul says you are well, you are fit, you are healthy, you are wonderful, you are filled with gratitude, you are filled with love, you are filled with creativity, you are perfect, you are healthy, you are well, you see what I mean? So that's kind of like how I would describe it. When we talk about an outside influence, that's again another level and a different energy. So if you've been taken over because you've been filled with fear and you've opened yourself up to what's called entity feeds off fear. So your fear converts your heart battery into negative energy. So you're like sending a message out there. So all the entities will come straight for you and start feeding from you and continually know exactly why you started this fear issue. And then it will feed it. It will manipulate it. And it normally feeds on your brain, always your brain. So your brain then starts to have a conversation and then you explode and blow up. You've heard the expression that you have this monkey mind and then it's like a rolling ball. It just gathers more and more and more. That's normally because an entity is attached to you. And now the entity is fueling everything that you're thinking because it knows everything about you. It knows your past, present, and future. Entity is spirit, but it's a demonic or dark spirit. So it knows you. It knows everything about you. It knows your faults, its fears, your weaknesses, your anger, your resentments. So all of these fears, it knows. So it starts to feed you. So you've got a friend, she's called Jane. Jane's just upset you because she's said something. Now the entity is in and saying, yeah, she's a bitch. She's not nice. She wants to kill you. She wants to poison you. She wants to take your husband. And all of a sudden, hang on, stop a minute. Stop a minute. This isn't my thought. I don't think like this. Where the hell's this coming from? I remember what Mark says, go and sage myself. So you go and sage yourself. After 15 minutes of saging yourself, within half an hour, them thoughts are gone. Why? Because that entity's gone. Because you've saged yourself fully. You've put oils on, you've cleansed yourself, and you know that this isn't you. And you say out loud, hey, this isn't me. I know somebody's inside me. I know there's a demonic energy inside me, and you have no power over me. You have no power over me. Get out of my body. Now, I've been known to do this on my own, and people look side out of the window and says, Mark's crazy. But I'm not crazy, because sometimes I know that we get attachments. And now more than ever, with the energy that is being shoved out of all of these things around us, every 500 yards, that energy is opening us up to receive entity. So we have to be so careful, and we have to check in on ourselves. So I guess that's kind of my limit to how I can explain in that way. I'm very thankful for that question. Really thankful. Is energy healing about returning to wholeness? or becoming something greater than we are. No, you can't be greater than what you are, because you are what you are. The only thing what's happened is from being born up until now, you've been attacked. You've been told you're not great. You've been told somebody else is better. You've been told somebody else is more important. You've been told that there's teachers and gurus and healers and these people that you need to listen to. So you've been brainwashed deliberately. And that brainwash continues till this very day, when you are told that you need this podcaster to tell you how to do this. You need 5, you need to do that. You need to come to them. You need to listen to them. You need to, or else it's constant, and it's never going to go away until you understand that your greatness is your spirit and your soul. And the only enemy you have is what's happened to your body. The enemy is outside, not inside. So your body needs to heal. It needs to clear. It needs to purge itself of all the brainwashing, all the hypnosis, all the dark demonic attack on us every day. So I guess that's the way I would answer that question. I'll say it one more time. How can you know if the energy, okay, is energy healing about returning to wholeness? After an energy healing session, you will return to wholeness. You will return to your trueness, your being, because there is no interference of the body causing that violin to vibrate at any other frequency other than what it should vibrate at after a healing session. That's why people used to get up off their seat and just look at me with a glaze of, what just happened there? Why do I feel like this? I just feel amazing. This is just such a beautiful feeling. And they always mentioned the word peace. They feel inner peace. Well, inner peace is a frequency. It's a frequency that nothing, well, it's not a feeling. It's a confirmation that everything inside is vibrating right. Everything is right. You don't feel peace without feeling everything's right inside. You can't do. So the mind's cleared. The heart's beating beautifully. The liver and kidneys are healing. Everything's healing. Wow, I'm all healing. I'm feeling this peace. So that's how I know. And I hope I answered that question right. You've always been great. You've just, your physical body is that which is attacked all the time. They spend every hour of every beating heartbeat, every day, every minute, every second to try and disconnect your body to your soul, because they know that when your body and soul is in alignment and vibrating, you are so dangerous to evil. You are so dangerous to entity. You are so dangerous to the world, because you speak your truth, you see through the lies, and you stand up for what you believe. And most of all, you shine a light that absolute darkness is petrified of. So, great questions. Absolutely spot on. Love it. I love these questions. The next question: how do I open myself to receiving healing without blocking it with fear and doubt? You've answered your question. That is an absolute question and answer in itself. You have to learn not to fear and not to doubt. When you fear and doubt, you block it. So I can only share what I've learned. I've learned through guiding people who have come here a way of becoming a healer. And what I learned becoming a healer, watching people try to heal and work towards their healing gift, is that 90% of people who came here, their only issue was fear and doubt. That was it. And the only way I could see an answer to that was to say, get on with it. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. Every time your mind tells you Is this working? Tell it to shut up. Tell your mind to get out of the way. It's none of its business. Just keep going and let the work be done. And the combination of them just saying to the mind, just shut up, just shut up. Just like, that's why a lot of people say to me, oh, why are you so awful to your mind? Why don't you treat it nice? Because my mind is like a donkey. It's stubborn. It's had a lot of years of being brainwashed. So at the end of the day, you're fighting yourself, or should I say, you're fighting your spirit. And the more you do the work, the more you heal people, the more you feel, the more you, wow, I felt that. And then doubt disappears and trust takes over the doubt and the fear, because now it's a practice and now I do it daily. So when you heal yourself, it's the same thing. You're going to like, this isn't working. Oh, I don't even think I can do it. Just shut up. Just shut up. It's none of your business. This isn't your time to talk. When you talk, I'll ask you to talk. I'll ask you to advise. When I ask you, I'm not asking you, I'm just asking you to be quiet. Stay still. It's none of your business right now. So I'm talking to my mind. And then I start working on myself and I start to feel, and I'm open to feelings. What am I feeling? Oh, I feel something here. So I'm here. Okay, I'll leave, and I've got my hand out to receive. I'm here. Okay, I might be there 5 minutes. I might be there an hour. I don't know, but I'm staying here. And then I'll hang on a minute. I've got a feeling here. Oh, I'm going to come here. And eventually that mind just shuts up, because you have told your mind from your soul, your spirit, to tell your mind to shut up. So this doubt and fear is because the mind is stronger than the soul. You just have to work through that. And by working as a healer, or by self-healing every day and doing it all the time, eventually it'll become second nature, and the brain will get so used to it. And it's easy to train the brain again. People don't realize this, but you can train the brain very quickly. And within a matter of a few days, 7 days, your brain is like, oh yeah, I know this. I know what you're doing. Oh yeah, this is fine. I'll shut up. Yeah, I know what you're doing, Mark. You know, you don't even need to talk. He won't talk to you then. You'll just do your thing. And then, wow, my brain's really working correctly. So I hope I've answered that. This is from another lady called Joan, and Joan is asking, she's wondering, where does healing energy originate from? Is it God? Is it source? Is it something else? So like I said, there's a universal energy that is free, that's around us all the time. Universal energy. You can pull it in anytime you want. The hands are there. You look at any of the gods, they use their hands, and gods weren't gods. They were us. They were humans. Gods are humans. Even if you read in Genesis, it tells you that there were gods with an S. There were different gods, and they made us to themselves. So we look like the gods. We look like those gods. Well, to me, they're not gods. They're the spirit and their bodies. So this energy which is around us is universal. And that's why a lot of people have the same thoughts, because there is a universal energy called the spirit world, always trying to give us information to help us along this journey. It's there for everybody. That's why somebody in this part of the world will attune to something that somebody else in another part of the world will attune to. So not many people are good at attuning, but some people are. Like I said, if you vibrate properly at the frequency, you'll attune to everything that is needed. But you won't attune to everything up there, only the necessary things that is needed for you along your personal journey. Sometimes they will intervene or interact and ask you to do something. Then they will give you the information that somebody else will come along and need. That's why anybody who comes for a healing comes to you, because spirit knows that you have been given certain understandings, certain wisdom that you can answer that person who came. When you interfere, when you push, when you force your gift on somebody, you can't help them, because you did that. When spirit brings somebody freely to you, that's because they know you've got something. That's why I never fear. I always say to these people, why are you fearing? They were brought to you for a reason. What that reason is doesn't matter. You don't even need to worry about it. They know. And that's why they're here with you now. Not with me, but with you. So you have something that you can offer. Don't worry about it. Just do it. And if it comes out and you're shown, beautiful. If not, then it's done anyway. So the universal energy is there. So as a healer, you'll feel that, and you'll feel the wonderful energy. You'll work for an hour and 20 minutes, or you'll work on yourself. It's beautiful. But then there's the spirit world energy. And that is the best way I can describe it is if you imagine a beautiful colored sea, multicolored sea, ocean. It's beautiful. It's pure. It isn't salty. It's pure. And you can see right through it. But yet it's like so many colors all over. And a drop of that water comes out. That is an individual spirit from the whole of the spirit world. And it comes out as an individual, and it'll come down, and it'll come. And while you're working, if you open yourself up enough, if you're vibrating at a high frequency, it will enter into your body field. Then you know that that is the spirit world. So you can call that the spirit world. That's it. And there's the difference between the universal energy that's around, which is healing everything, the Father energy, the heavens, whatever you want to call it. Mother Earth also is a healer too. So what you'll get with that is a feeling through the bottom of your feet, and it raises up through your body and comes out of your hands, or sometimes it'll even pour out of your heart. And sometimes you'll be picking up. That's why I like healing outside, because like I used to love going to Ibiza because I'd heal under trees with my clients, and you can feel the energy of the tree, the energy of Mother Earth coming through you, as well as the energy above from our spirit world, and sometimes all of them. So the spirit world will come forward into you. You've got the energy of Mother Earth because you've got bare feet. You've got the energy of the tree, the energy of the universe. Imagine the healing power of that. So that's really beautiful. That's how I would answer that. Just so you know, guys, I'm sharing what I've learned. I don't know. I've always said this. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. There's so much to learn. So I'm just sharing what I've learned with you. And, you know, I am not like somebody who knows everything, but I will share stuff that I can instantly say, oh, this is what it feels like. If I don't know, you've heard me say I don't know. And I'm not frightened of saying I don't know, because I don't have an ego, and I don't give a shit if I don't know. I'm interested to know, though, and I will then look and try and figure out and work on that. So this says, can healing energy, this is from Thomas. So Thomas says, can healing energy raise our consciousness? 100%. Because I've said, if you heal the body, your spirit will be stronger, so you'll be able to hear it more. So without a doubt, everything will vibrate. Your pineal gland, your alpha mode, all your power points, your chakras, it will all vibrate as it should do. So of course, and then it says here, not just to fix our the first part of the question was, can energy healing raise our consciousness? And then after that, it's a question, it's a comma, not just fix our problems. Absolutely, 100%. Next question. This is from Katie, and Katie writes, is pain or illness sometimes part of our spiritual path? And should we always try to remove it? Well, you know what? I'd rather not feel pain than pain. The point I always thought was, if I feel this pain, now I know what it feels like. Now it's time to get rid of that pain. So I broke my foot. All right, I know what it feels like. Now I'm going to heal that so it's more beautiful, more stronger than ever, which I did. And it took me less time than anybody else could have believed. Why? Because I worked on healing it. So yes, I felt the pain. I understand that pain. But you know what? The experience actually was far more superior, so powerful. And it's like, I actually conquered that. Why? I'll tell you why. At the moment of breaking my foot, there was no fear. I shouted and called for help. They came down. I said, I broke my foot. They said, okay, I'm going to run and get the ambulance. I said, fine. I was down in the mangoes. I pushed myself back up slowly, back up like this with one foot in the air. My other foot was dangling down, broken. It was like swinging. And I'm pushing myself back up and I'm saying, everything's fine. I pushed myself right back into the swimming pool, put my foot into the swimming pool and just closed my eyes and said, thank you. I feel it. My foot is going to be fine. It's going to heal. It's going to be well. So that was, I guess, corny, but I conquered my experience. I conquered my challenge. And I did. I didn't fear it. I didn't worry about it. And I said, when they told me it was going to take months because this was the worst break they've ever seen, like, no, it's not. It's going to fix and heal really quickly. And it's going to be fantastic. And, and I just totally ignored them. And I know it was going to fix and heal well. And I know that the doctor who was going to repair it is going to do a good job and blah, blah, blah. And I kept saying, this is all fantastic. It's well. Or I could have panicked and said, why me? Everybody hates me. This is curses. No. I fixed and healed and I'm fine. And I'm here today and it's fine. I'll show you. I'll show you my see there. That's it. And I'm not putting a tattoo on it this time. I've done my tattoos. I'm all right with tattoos now, even though it was organic. I'm all right. I'm done with them. Experience. Should you have tattooed or not? I don't know, but I did it. And I like the Buddha. Does it cause evil spirits to come in? I haven't felt evil spirits coming in because of that. The only time I feel anything negative inside me is when I start feeling bad, negative, when I start, I don't drink, but if I took morphine and I was praying through morphine, by the way, and and they kept coming in asking me if I wanted more morphine. And I said, no. Oh, you don't want more morphine? No, I don't. Do you want more? No, I don't. Have you got any painkillers? Yeah, we've got painkillers. Yeah, but are you sure you don't want morphine? No, I'll have painkillers. I'll have a painkiller. Do you have paracetamol? Yeah, I'll have a paracetamol. So did I actually want more morphine? Yes, absolutely I did. I'd just come out of an operation. Of course I wanted something to stop the pain, but I know what it means. And I took one tablet and within half an hour I was fine again. And that isn't as bad as morphine or the other heavy drugs. So, and even them I don't want, but sometimes you do need something to heal yourself through something physical like that. I do understand that. So I don't fight with myself all the time. I just try my best to figure out what is the best way to heal quicker. That's all. If I need something, I'll take it, no problem. But I am aware and I'm working on it because I know hospitals is absolutely where they hang out, just like prisons. They hang out there, these entities. So, and there is a saying. I've heard it all over. These bring bad entities and evil in. That's not true. I'm sorry, guys. If it was, I'd tell you. I know a lot of shamans with a lot of tattoos. I know a lot of Native Americans that I've met over the time. Native Americans. We don't call them Native Indians as we did as kids. We used to call them Indians. No, they're not. Native Americans, the one that their lands were raped and they're pillaged from, and we forgot about that. Yeah, pleasantly forgot about that. Of course we have. Yeah. So they used to put tattoos on and do this kind of stuff. And no, they not to me. So there's a lot of fear out there deliberately done. There's a lot of fear put out there deliberately done. Anyway, you have the power. You can conquer it. All right. Well, I've got more questions on here, but why don't I put it to you and see if you've got anything that you want to say? So, any bullet point questions that you want to ask? I hope you've enjoyed it thus far. 44 minutes has gone by, and we could talk like this for the next 5 years. We could continue talking for 5 years every day about something that I've learned over these 20 years. So if you've got a question, just ask. Do you know, I've got an answer to that. I've got an answer to this. Right, shamans are the future. I tell you what it is. I've met some shamans who are actually not very nice, not very good. They are bad. They're in bad positions, bad situations. Some are frauds. Do you know what I think is the future? What I've just said earlier on. If we can get our spirit back to control our bodies, if our spirit can be the driving force in these bodies, that is our future. That's why evil spends all its time to try to make these vessels sick. It's really simple. Okay, did you see my question? Sean, I didn't. So I didn't. What's James asking? Hi, James. How are you doing? Mark, have you ever felt the trio of shungite, Silicon Valley, and any third like Herkimer Diamond or Tektite? I used to work with Silicon Valley. I was probably one of the first to talk about Silicon Valley before it came out before anybody. I'd never even heard of anybody talking about it. Some people, very, very few mentioned terahertz, but I recognized it when at a show many, many years ago, and I could feel the energy within that. And working with both shungite and Silicon Valley and Tektite, I found that the healing process of bad energies was something profound. And I started feeling that when I thought that electricity, especially pylons, were causing a lot of issue. Also, putting shungite, Silicon Valley, and clear quartz together was also another thing that I used to do in people's houses when they were actually situated next to a pylon, electricity pylon, or the big electricity generators and all of that. So yeah, I've worked with it, and all of those crystals are fantastic. Herkimer Diamond to me is something that will, like, if somebody asks me, okay, I don't believe in, I do believe in trying to cleanse your crystal. I don't see it as cleansing. I just see it as adding stronger, more powerful energy into it. So I normally have a Herkimer Diamond over there. I gave it away to somebody who really needed it. And I said to them who were panicking about cleansing and clearing their crystals, I said, put any crystal on a Herkimer Diamond and it will do as much as your cleansing, your clearing, your water with salt, your salt, or whatever you use, sage, whatever you want to do with it, oils. Your Herkimer Diamond, for some reason, is like a battery life. And when I say a battery life, it gives good energy, but it amplifies the crystal it's next to. Okay. Okay. Do I understand that? You'll have to step into the spiritual side of this future, Mark. I don't really understand what that means. It's coming for everybody. What's coming for everybody? The real ones know. The real ones know. Sorry, I don't understand any of that at all. I live an earthly life. I know day to day what's happening. I can see the negativity. I can see that the darkness is becoming stronger every day. As spiritual side goes, I work with crystals like this afternoon. I've been working with crystals, sat with them, meditating with them for maybe 3 hours, a bunch of crystals behind me here. Normally in a day, I do absent healing. I take I don't know what you mean by spiritual side. I've got these 2 books full of names, everybody's names in here. Like I just keep adding names. I do absent healing on these books, as well as people that I attune to instantly. I do that for maybe about 45 minutes, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. I work on self-healing. I start in the morning by cleansing everything. Then I go and touch every single jar of my oil, put normally 15 minutes into that. That normally takes about 1 hour and 20 minutes. I cleanse and clear the room to start with of sage. I cleanse myself. I heal myself. What do you mean? You'll have to step into your spiritual side. I don't know how much else do I need to step into my spiritual side? But maybe I got it. I don't know what you're saying because I've got dyslexia. So if you were sat here now, you'd be able to explain, I'm sure, differently. And that's why I struggle with reading and writing and texting. People always get me wrong and think that I'm taking the piss, or and I'm sorry if it sounds like that. But I have never met anybody. I have met healers and psychics. And I have met absolutely tons of shamans who say to me, you absolutely do the work. And I'm like, because I love doing it. Like, this is who I am. I will work on crystals till 3 o'clock in the morning. I will send energy into crystals, sometimes 2:33 in the morning. I work. This is my work. This is my life. I've been a healer for 20 years. I've healed clients. I've been into thousands of houses and homes and buildings, clearing spirit, negative, demonic. I've healed people of the worst, they say, illnesses. I've healed people from the worst attacks and attachments. How much more spiritual would you need to be? Explain how much more, because I really don't know. Unless I sit under a tree for 20 years, I don't know. But it's just coming from your other channel, Mark. Thank you, Brendan. Your live chat section is not in sync. You seem to be taking questions from the Crystal channel live chat. No, I've connected. Listen, you know me, Brendan. I ain't got a clue about how to use this, but I can tell you this now. Right now, this is called StreamYard. StreamYard, which I pay for, allows me to connect as many people as I want. So right now, I'm connected to Facebook. Right now, I'm connected to my Crystals channel. And right now, I'm connected to my Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. So I don't know. Maybe the sync is wrong. Maybe it's not working right. I don't know. But I'm actually enjoying myself, to be fair. These chats and these questions are great. Okay. Get over all that toxic bullshit while you try your best to be a good company. Also, this person, natural is rough sometimes. Well, yeah, we do live in a toxic world. That's for sure, Chris. There's no doubt about that. It's very toxic now. I've lived now, I'm 57. I've never seen it like this before. And I think what frightens me most of all is people have got so used to this normality, this craziness, this not normality. They've made crazy normal. They've made evil normal. They've made it acceptable. I watched a video yesterday of a young girl talking about singing about sex, and all the mums and dads sat clapping, watching her dancing and singing. I'm like, we are really now in the most toxic, evil times. Really are. Here's a good question. Where is it? The answer there is yes, I am. in time, I will, when the time is right. Until then, I just keep going. I save my money up once a year, and I go to Bali once a year. And at the same time, I visit my lovely family of silversmiths and goldsmiths, and work alongside them and help them. I'm going to try and do some new designs this year, but I've been so happy there. I like it there, and I get to rest. And I don't go to 5-star hotels and sleep there, but I do go and sit there and enjoy the energy. I always go to Ubud, Four Seasons, and I have coffee sometimes, Balinese coffee, which is really nice. I like Balinese coffee. It's like powdery, but it's really nice. But I haven't drunk coffee for some time, really. I'm more into health now. But fresh coconut there, a salad, a nice salad, and just start writing my book. The last book I wrote was, if anybody will remember, I went to two of the Four Seasons, because it's just a beautiful energy. Whoever bought the Four Seasons knew that right where that energy is was where they built, which is beautiful. So they let you go in. They have no problem with letting you go in. You sit down, you have a drink, you have your dinner, and it costs round about 45, 50 euros. But I'm on a holiday and I've saved up all year for it. So that's what I kind of give myself. And then I finish at around about 7 o'clock. I get there for about 10, finish at 7. So I write my book as I did, and I finished that book there. I finished all my books in Bali. And I like it. And then I go for a ride at night, and I'll spend 3 to 4 hours riding all over Bali, and then come back and go to sleep in, normally a really nice place, which is not expensive. It's getting more expensive, but round about 60 a night, something $60 a night. And then sometimes I'll treat myself for a couple of 3 days in a place called Maya Hotel Ubud. And if you're really lucky, you can get a room for sometimes $90 for the night. And if you can get 3 days in there at $90, like 3 days at 90 each, it's like beautiful, because it's such a beautiful hotel. It's a 4-star hotel, but I'm not really bothered about fancy stuff, fancy hotels, but the energy is what I like. So I'll sit there. So even though I won't pay $200, $300, $400, $500. I think that's insane to sleep on a bed. No, sorry. But I can still go there in the morning and have breakfast for 20 euros, which normally in Bali you can have breakfast for 5 euros, but I pay 20 euros. And I never get sick at any of these hotels that I eat at. If I eat in an open market, I'll get sick, and I won't do it because they're not as hygienic as the hotels are. So I've just tried to be smart. I love the energy of Bali, and I feel that maybe one day I will live there. So yeah, there's your answer. Moldavite, that's what I'm going over for this time. This time I'm going to work on the power of Moldavite till it's finished. My last book will be hopefully coming out in a couple of months, and that's called The Ancient Art of Flower Reading. Very excited about that. It's not going to be that popular. I already know that, but I'm not writing because I'm wanting to reach a crowd to be popular. You don't see me writing about crystals. You don't see me writing about, spiritual, what you find these days is people are trying to find a niche. They're trying to find something that is going to make a book really popular. What do people want to know now? What's popular? I don't work that way. I'm the complete opposite. I want to work on what I feel I want to work on, not on what this. Sometimes I will do a video on a certain subject, but I do it because I think it's relevant, but not because I think I'm going to get loads of likes and it's going to put my following. I never do that. Never. That's why I'm where I am. If I wanted to follow a procedure, then I could have 1 million followers, but I don't do that. I won't do it. I will not sell my soul just to fit into the matrix. I won't do it. Never. I'm too stubborn. I'm like Richie Allen. Richie Allen could be a multimillionaire if he wanted to be. But no, he's not going to do that. He's not going to follow what everybody does. And he does what he does. That's why I like Richie, because, you know, he's like me. I don't give a crap about any of them. Oh, but if you want, you need to funnel this and you need to do that. No, I don't. No, I don't. Question. I'm thinking what you're saying there is, do you think we were born shaman energy in us from reincarnation, past life? So, like, our memory of past lives could be anything. And just because we were a shaman in a last life doesn't mean that we're going to remember that, or maybe we do. But my feeling to that question, it's not relevant to me. It doesn't really mean anything, because my past life doesn't mean anything. My life now means something. That's why I don't do past life regression, because I'm not bothered. Somebody's told me I've had 3 clairvoyants, top clairvoyants in the world, tell me that I used to be, and they told, out of nowhere, it just came out, oh, you were St. Francis of Assisi. And I started, I laugh. I said, 2 people have said that. And then somebody else said it as well. And I laughed and yeah, I like dogs. I like animals, but you know, I'm seriously not bothered about money. I couldn't give a shit about it, but I'm very thankful for it when it comes, but I don't look towards making it per se. I just don't have that. I get angry with people who just do it, and I can see them. I mean, I could share something now with you. Like, he's a fraud. This guy's a fraud. And I can see what he's doing. He's a market trader, and he's hustling, and is like, you know, come and join it. And if you buy this book now, you'll get all of these things. And all I want to do is let the world want this book, because it's going to help you and entrepreneurs. And if you spend $5,999 and you buy 200 of these books and you donate them to people, like, just shut up. Go. So, going back to the question, I think that our consciousness, our soul, is more enlightened than any shaman or any healer, psychic, clairvoyant. It's just that we don't connect to our soul. We connect to the outside all the time. We're never connecting in hardly. So even as a clairvoyant, we are tapping into, we're trying to hear, we're trying to feel the spirit world all the time. But when we meditate, when we work on ourselves and heal ourselves and cleanse ourselves and work on our consciousness, that connection is so beautiful and flowing and free, that I've met children who are 15, 16 years old that just came in my room and said something to me. And I said, where did that come from? They said, I don't know. It just came to me. I said, you're absolutely bang on. You're absolutely 100% right. Wow, you've got a lovely connection. Why did that soul have a lovely connection? I lied them down and gave them a healing session. I'll tell you why. Because they were free from fear, they were free from pain and suffering, and they were connected to their consciousness was driving their body. Do I think the consciousness is a shaman? I think it's 1,000 times more enlightened than any shaman. A shaman is just going through life trying to heal people and trying to figure out how to help people along their journey. That's what I always envisioned a shaman was, or shaman energy. So, you know, I just like here and now. What I do say is that when you're fresh and new to this field of work, it's like, yeah, I want to learn and I want to understand it. And I want to hear from everybody. I want to feel your experience, but I don't want to meet somebody who tells me this is how it's done. I want to meet somebody saying, this is how I do it. This is how and And I'm not saying that what I do is going to work for you, but this is how I do it, and you can give it a try. And if it doesn't work, try something else. Try anything to get to where you connect to, because it could be just a simple procedure of going through all of these things, and at the same time you're healing your body, you're healing the body, and somebody's lucky enough to bump into you who's a healer, and then you are at the level ready to heal, and oh, this is the perfect one. Well, actually all the others probably were perfect. They all helped you to get to where you are. Now you're just a lucky person. That person's lucky enough to have you when they're vibrating at their conscious level, at their spirit level, but they've gone through it all through everybody else. That's why I don't knock any other form of healing, because everybody heals us. Gone off on one now. I don't really know much about dreams when it comes to waking up and understanding our dreams. I never have done. I'm not a dream person. All I've ever shared with people, Sally, is that when we sleep, I think right now they are trying to stop us from moving freely from our body so we can go and work or go home, do what we do. They're doing everything to create this body, which I say is like a violin, but it's not functioning properly. It's not singing that tune anymore. It's not in tune anymore. And if it's not in tune for some reason, the body is not, the consciousness is not leaving the body. And a lot of people are fighting at night. There's a lot of strange shit happening right now. And I put it down to these towers. These towers, it's only when these towers came up that people's body clocks are all messed up. People's body clock, you've got a lot of body clocks inside you, body clocks of eating, sleeping, emotional body clock, physical body clocks in all different ways. They're all messed up now. And I think that there's the consciousness the spirit cannot work properly anymore. And I think they figured this out. And that's why bad frequency is causing a lot of people bad stuff. And these dreams, these weird dreams, these weird, this isn't normal. And I put it out to that out there, all of them towers, them Eye of Sauron towers everywhere. And you know what? I haven't been that wrong thus far. My predictions have been pretty accurate. I said to you the other day, you were all there when I said horsetail. You were all there when I said dandelion. Look at what Barbara O'Neill's saying now. Look at what Dr. Steve Click is saying. There's loads of them saying it. Just drink dandelion every day and it will heal and cleanse and clear away your I can't say it on here. Of course I can't, but you know what spike something is. And also nicotine. Of course, horsetail has nicotine in. So I haven't done so bad thus far. I'm quite pleased, and we were way ahead of most people. Now they're all saying it, but we were the first. You name anybody quicker than what we did when we did that channeling. We did pretty well, and that was connecting to what I say, the spirit world, giving us information. Some of you might remember it. Totally. Well, I honestly wish you all an absolutely beautiful evening. Whatever you are in life, your spirit to me is everything. It's more powerful than anything. And all we have to do is work on the connection. That connection can only be worked on when we start to finely tune this body, when we check in on this body temple, when we look after it, when we cleanse, clear, heal all day long, when we work on it, when we meditate, when we self-heal. All of these things are so vital for our spirit to actually give us the information to drive this body, to be the driving force of this body. Don't let negative energy, negative thoughts drive your body, because it will drive you into the ground. I wish you all a lovely evening. I hope you've enjoyed today. I thank you for going to markbajerski.com and trusting in my oils, incense, and everything that's on there. If not, please always support your local crystal store. They need us, and we need them. And that's it. Very thankful for everything. I hope you enjoyed today's Let's See, where we just have a look at the synchronicities of what the spirit world, what I believe, tried to tell us. I think we've done 2 or 3 of them now. I'm really enjoying it, even though I look a plonker with my glasses on. Have a great day. Till tomorrow. Take care. Have a happy Sunday, what's left of it. And from my heart to yours, have a most amazing evening. Shine bright, everybody. Bye for now. Take care.